Thank you so much for joining me today on Coffee With. We're at the Highway 61 Coffee House on Washington Street. And a very special guest today, Elyssa Lassiter, who is currently Miss Vicksburg. Elyssa, thank you so much for coming and joining me today for coffee. Yesterday we were visiting, and you told me that you're in preparations for the Miss Mississippi contest.
Yes.
And in addition to that, we got to talking about some of the volunteer work that you've been involved with actually for quite a while, really predated your pageant involvement. So tell me about some of the volunteer work that you do. I know that as a contestant you also have to have a platform. I'm very interested to hear about that. And then some of the preparations for the actual Miss Mississippi pageant.
Yes, well actually each contestant, each local title holder is responsible for carrying a platform for the entire year, for her entire tenure of her local title. And mine is called Let's Boogie. And it's an acronym that stands for Let's Banish Our Obesity Growth Through Initiating Exercise. Mississippi is known for some wonderful strides, but we also are associated with being the most obese state in our country. So what I do, I really made a life change about a year ago, almost this summer. And the doctor saw that I had leukopenia, which is a low white blood cell count. I had the antibody for rheumatoid arthritis. And I also had the doctor thought that I might have lupus. And I said, I'm 21 years old. Where is this coming from? And the catalyst for my change is that I jumped on the scale one day and I read that I almost gained 10 pounds in a week. And I said, something's got to give. I've got to change. So I hopped on a treadmill. I didn't know what I was doing, but I tried. And since then I've been living a life dedicated to health and fitness and helping other people reach their health goals, because you can have all, an aerobics teacher at Wyatt's told me this, you can have all the riches and money and wealth in the world, but if you don't have your health, other people are just going to enjoy it for you. So I said, well, as an accomplishment, I decided to become a ZUMBA instructor. And when I say this is the most rewarding occupation, a job that I've ever had up until now, I get the chance to motivate and encourage other people on a daily basis, and in motivating those other people, it really motivates myself.
Isn't it funny how that works out that way?
It is. It's, you know, it's kind of like a symbiotic relationship. You give, but in giving you also receive.
That's
so
right.
I really enjoy it. It's nothing like it.
Now tell me about some of the volunteer work you've been doing, because I know you've been involved with that for quite a while.
With my platform, it's called Let's Boogie. Let's Banish Our Obesity Growth Through Initiating Exercise. And like I mentioned before, some of the shocking statistics that are associated with our state, I have the opportunity to use my ZUMBA certification to visit different schools, social and civic groups, churches, youth groups, and I will do ZUMBA with them. And while they're resting, we use, sometimes I have to target my ZUMBA to a specific audience. Like say for example, if I'm working with first and second graders, I'll use a Dora song or something that's fun for them. And after I exercise with them while they're resting, I will talk about making healthy choices, eating well, and exercise in ways that they can not only exercise themselves, but encourage their families, encourage family exercise night, eating well, dinners, just ways that they can improve the lives of not only them but their families and those around them as well. So, I mean, when a little kid comes up to me after our exercise and says, "Wow, Miss Vicksburg, I had so much fun," or you know, and said, "Wow, I didn't think I could dance like that, but I can," it really touches me. And just that, you know, some days are easier than others, but when you have a child or someone or an adult that comes to you after aerobics class and says, "Wow, I needed that, thank you," just those few words, it makes all the difference.
I know it does. Well, I know you stay very busy. You're currently in graduate school.
Yes.
You're doing this volunteer work, you're teaching ZUMBA lessons, and now you're in the midst of preparations for the Miss Mississippi pageant.
Yes.
Tell us what all is involved with that.
There's a lot of paperwork that has to be done. There's a lot of documentations and forms that need to be filled out. You have to, the judges, they only have 10 minutes to get to know you, so you have to have a fact sheet for them so they can kind kind of see who you are before you walk in the interview room, because, you know, although there is the swimsuit competition, the evening wear, and the talent competition, there's also a private interview, which a lot of people might not know about who aren't really up to date on what the Miss Mississippi Corporation pageants are about. So that's one thing that I'm working on. I'm keeping abreast of my current events for the interview portion. I love to talk, but I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about when I go in there. And with all the ZUMBA that I've been doing with my platform and at the gym, I'm staying in shape. It's not as hard, so that's something that I'm working to keep up. And just looking for that dress. I've been going around to some of our great shops here in Mississippi, and I'll be going to Laurel this weekend to see some of the nice gowns that they have to offer. And that's pretty much it. A lot of it is preparing myself mentally for the week. I've heard it's intense. It's my first time being a participant in the pageant, so I'm really looking forward to that, and also meeting all the great contestants. We had a chance to meet each other and greet each other at orientation a couple weekends ago, and just continuing my work with the city of Vicksburg. And it's, you know, I love this city, and what a better way for me to give back than by using my abilities and by using my talents to help other people.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love your excitement. I can tell that you're not just excited about the pageant, but you're excited about your life.
Yes.
And I find that so refreshing and so rewarding. And it really inspires me, you know, to see a young person who's so excited about everything that's going on in your life. And it just really shows through, and I'm sure it does when you go and work with the children and the other people. And I mean, you know, it makes a difference in people's lives.
Yes.
It really does. So I'm going to make a prediction for your future.
Okay. Ready.
I have full belief after meeting you that you're going to be Miss Mississippi, but I also believe that you're going to be the next Miss America.
Miss Lee, that means so much.
And when you are, because I fully believe that you are, I want you to come back to Coffee With and let us interview you again, and you can tell us about that journey to becoming Miss America.
And Coffee with Miss Lee will be on the first on my agenda. Will be the first on my agenda.
Excellent. We'll go and make Mississippi proud.
Oh, I will.
Thank you so much for coming and having coffee with me today.
I enjoyed it.
Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you wanted to be sure and talk about? I don't want to miss anything.
Like you mentioned, I'm excited. I'm an enthusiastic person. I'm excited to work and really meet the framework, which is our city. Even though Vicksburg is a relatively small city compared to others, there are so many people that I have not had the chance to get to know, and there's so much talent here, and there's, especially in our youth. And I was sitting at home the other day watching the Mississippi Spelling Bee, and that just was an indication of me of how smart and how talented and how wonderful our Mississippi is. And unfortunately, just like we are statistically associated with being the most obese state in our country, there are other negative connotations that people outside of our state might see. But I just want to encourage everybody, if there's anyone watching that's not from the area, see what Mississippi has to offer. We are such a beautiful place, and I'm so happy to have been a part of it, to be a part of it.
Well, I wish you the very best of luck, even though I don't think that you need it. I'm very confident that you're going to win. And we will just be there cheering you on.
That means so much, and I've enjoyed speaking with you.
Thank you for coming today.
Anytime.
All righty.